All right, we're just going to get straight into it then, bro. Matt Armstrong is on the podcast.
I'm here.
You're here.
I made it here.
We got a YouTube celebrity right now. Bro, you're killing it on YouTube.
That's it. Right? And you.
Yeah, do you know what? All right, I'm doing okay. My subscribers are a little bit higher than yours.
Yeah.
But you're coming strong, over 200K.
It's the weirdest thing. Like I was going to say this, you know, mine just happened all of a sudden. Like basically my channel sort of built up during lockdown. So that was the thing. It was only like last year, the start of last year, I had, what was it? 2020 last year. 2019, I didn't even have 10,000 subscribers, like toward December time. And then 2020 happened, January, all of a sudden 30,000 subscribers, 40, 50. By June, I'd had 100,000 subscribers. So it built up massively. And I'm just there, like filming on my driveway, messing around with the cars, as I usually do. And these numbers on the screen are just numbers on the screen.
That's right.
Like, and then you don't think of them as people. You don't think of people watching this, that, and the other. And then next thing you know, once you start, like, lockdown sort of eased and everything, and I started going out more, and I'm stopping off at services, getting a drink, and there's people there like, that's that guy that built that Bentley on YouTube, and I'm like, what? Like, and that's
weird,
when it's the weirdest thing, like, going from like that and then hundreds of thousands of people watching. It is
because that's the other thing I was going to say. Like I was going to get into this later in the conversation, but fuck, we just do it now. It's crazy. Like I feel like I started to hear about you when you done your first kind of salvage build.
Yeah.
Was it the S5?
Yeah. So the S5 wasn't damaged, but it was the cheapest one I could find. It was like $5,000. Bought it from Birmingham, which is like
that's where you get them $5,000 motors, bro. That's where you get them kind of discounts.
Like, I was always sort of wanted one, and I started going down the route of like looking for the cars that people, that I always looked at, but you thought, oh, it's so expensive to run, they're not reliable, but they're devalued so much, they're affordable, and that's the sort of route I started looking at, and then it just went down the route of salvage stuff in the end because it was like, oh, look, you can buy like a Bentley Continental GT for £10,000. I was like, that's insane.
Is that what you actually paid for it? $10,000?
Yeah,
no.
That's it. So,
and because it was salvage, right?
Yeah, it had a smash on the front, and but yeah, it just went down that route, and then people just jumped on board with it, and I think it really worked because it's not like one video you're filming on one car, and the next video you're filming on a completely different car, and then it's 50-50. People might watch one video because they really love that car. Yeah. The next video on another car, they might not like it as much. But if I've started filming on a Bentley and it's all crash damaged, they're brought in then, they think, right, I want to watch the next episode. And I think that's how it grew so quick. Wicked. And then there was people finding the end video on the Bentley and then watching the rest of them. So it just built up so quick from it.
Congratulations, man. Honestly, that's so sick, right? Because like, with YouTube nowadays, and I say nowadays like I'm an OG in the game, I'm not. Like, I've been in it for 3 years, but I still know that even when I was coming up, it's so hard to make an impression or a dent into YouTube and try and find a way because it's saturated, right? Yeah. And to do what you've done and the way it's growing and your viewership like is number one, like because it doesn't even matter about your subscribers, your viewership is off the chart, bro.
It is mad, and like if I think about it too much, it winds me up a bit. I don't like try and think about it, you know. Like the other day was watching like a football game and was thinking like, oh, look at that stadium, it could fit like 50,000 people in it.
Exactly the same.
I know, and when you think there's like 100,000 people watching the video, that is a lot of people.
But going back to it, as you say, and again, bro, everything you said so far has resonated with me. Like when you talk about it's just numbers, you see these numbers gaining, right? It's very hard to take it down to. Each one of those numbers is a person.
I know,
each decimal point or whatever is like, you know what I mean, a person or a tenth of a person or tens of people or whatever. And it's hard to fathom. And like when I'm watching, I think the best way to describe it is if you're talking like, you know, how many people watch your YouTube videos, 100,000 people, that they can't fit into Wembley Stadium, bro.
I know.
Do you see what I'm saying?
And if I imagine it, you're in the middle of Wembley Stadium messing around with a car and there's hundreds of thousands of people around you on the outside.
And the craziest thing is like, if you deep it, it's like that 100,000 people care about what you're doing, your opinion, and who you are. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. That's what I try and not think so much about, you know, because if you think like, oh, there's this many people watching, you're trying to. Sometimes I try and please too many people with what I do, and you're thinking, Like, well, we'll get onto it, but with the cars that I'm buying, I'm trying to please so many different people. You know, I'm trying to do like a cheap golf build at the same time. I bought a Lamborghini to try and get an audience for like Lamborghinis and things like that. And then you're annoying the people who love the golf, but then the people who like the Lamborghinis don't like the golf. And then you're trying to please so many people, and it's not going to happen.
It's never going to happen. And that's something else I found out very, very soon after I started YouTube, because I'm always a person who loves to. If we were in a room of people with a group of about 10 people, right? I'm always the guy there who wants to make sure that everyone has a good, everyone thinks good of me. I like to please people. I like to be that guy, and I just like to please everyone. Like I'm very neutral in that too. I'm not very opinionated in either way. I just like to be that neutral guy. But that's me naturally, right?
That's it.
But when you go onto YouTube and you start saying your light-hearted opinions, or you start trying to do things that you think are good, you quickly find out that, bro, not everyone agrees with that.
I know, and the people always know more than you, and it's that's the thing. I started like first doing like a sort of like how-to things, you know, like I changed the springs on like a Golf years ago, and I'm like, right, how to do it, and then you always get them. Your comments like, you done that wrong, you done this wrong, and that's why I kind of stopped that and just thought I just do it my own way, and then that's it.
That's it. I think, like as you said, I think the key to it is. And it's crazy because we're having this conversation and we're both kind of on the same level. And you know what? It's an absolute blessing that we've actually got this following. And as we say, it's very hard to actually take in. But, you know, with that said, we just got to do what makes us happy and, you know, try and please our core subscribers.
That's it. That's it. Like, did you start... I bet you were. I bet you didn't. You didn't start YouTube and thinking that it was going to be so big. Like,
I think... All right, don't get me wrong, it's good to be confident, right? But if you go into it thinking, all right, I'm about to do 1 billion subs, I'm about to become the richest man, this, that, the other, you're probably in it for the wrong reasons. You've really got to start from a passion, like, you know what I mean? And just let it grow off that. And you know what, actually, I was probably going to save this story for another time or whatever, but it's weird because we were I don't know if you know, but we were in a group chat together. Did you ever know that?
Oh, seriously? I don't know.
We was in a group chat. See?
I don't know. Now I'm thinking like, what?
Just to make sure it was you. Let's say about 3 years. Did you have a Mercedes? C63. Did you ever have a C63?
I bought a C63. I smashed up one.
Yes.
But I didn't have it for that long.
What colour was it?
It was like a grey colour one.
It was you. Is that about 3 years ago?
No.
How long ago?
Like only like Christmas time.
Oh fuck! All right, maybe it wasn't you. No, I'm sure it was you, bro.
No, it can't
all right, let's try it. Have you ever been in like car group chats?
Not that I can remember. No, this definitely.
Pretend I never even said that. I was going somewhere with that. I thought I might mention it, I might not. But anyway, fuck. Shit. All right, I killed that. Pretend, bro. Pretend. No one's listening. All right, cool. Never mind. But going back to group chats, anyway, I've got a good story about that. When I first started YouTube, I was actually on, like, I guess a few people will be able to resonate with this. You get like group chats full of car people that you don't really know, but let's say you're part of a car crew or something like, you know what I mean, or whatever. Or people send you an invite to it because they think you've got a cool car. So I was in a couple of those, or a few of those, like when I just started YouTube, and I like to when I was making my videos, and again my posting of videos was infrequent, so it was like. I'd post one week, 2 weeks later I might post another one. I'd post another one. It was never every week or twice a week. And every time I would do it, because I was proud of it and I thought there's like-minded people in this group, I would send my video, the link, and say, hey guys, check it out, right? So I've done it 3 times, I got kicked out of the group. They kicked me out. They kicked me out, bro. And then the guy who owned the group, and bro, I swear to God, if I can remember the group's name, shout him out right now. Shame. They kicked me out, or he kicked me out of the group, and he goes, this is a car group. You keep posting your videos. I'm like, but bro, they're car videos.
I've had the same thing.
I'm like, how? Like, no, what's the thoughts in that? And I'm not aggressively doing it.
Yeah, I've had the same thing on Facebook. I've joined these every time I buy a car, like if I've bought an Audi R8, I've joined the Audi R8 owners club with no like bad intention or anything like that. Not to be like, right, purely just promote my videos in there. I see people have stuff for sale. I'll be selling my old stuff on there. I'll post a video on there. The people who are in there are mainly watching the videos anyway. So, if anything happens, I'll post a video. I'll post a video in there anyway, saying like, oh, this might be of some interest of you, this, that, and the other. Yeah. Next thing, get blocked from there because like
they're blocking.
Because I went to a company which like the admin guy didn't like or something, and then I get blocked. I got blocked from the Audi TT owners club
no
thing.
Way.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't get it. It's like I'm making there's no bad intention.
Exactly,
I honestly I don't understand it.
Bro, do you know what? It just goes back to not being able to please everyone, I guess.
Yeah,
that's a perfect way to round that little bit off.
No, people. I think it's so easy for people to say negative things about you than it is to say good things. Like
100%.
That's when they don't know you. It's so quick to say anything. I get loads of comments, and I think that's the thing with YouTube. It's only cut out for a few certain people. A lot of people can grow big and then they stop because they see the negative comments more than the positive ones, or they see the thumbs down on the video, not the thumbs up. When you're getting like thousands of thumbs up, but they see 30 thumbs down, they're like, I've got to stop.
It's weird how that actually does affect, doesn't it? And this actually like a message for upcoming YouTubers, like the work you've got to put in. And when you do get there, it's like, you know, you can get 100 good comments, right? And you love every single one of them. But the problem is, you know, that one that is not nice.
If you look at that one, I get it sometimes. Sometimes I am like that. I'll go through, normally what happens is I'll upload a video and then I'll sit there for the first hour and I'll reply to everyone in the first hour. And then from then on, when I sit in bed at night, I'll just look through the comments. And most of the comments are like absolutely unreal. Like everyone's so positive about it. But then there'll be like the odd one which sticks out saying like just something rubbish. Mainly at the minute, it's like, oh, if I film on the Lamborghini, like, oh, it's not relatable anymore. I hate this channel. You're becoming like everybody else. Blah, 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 blah. And then I've got in my head then, oh, everyone doesn't like this channel now. Like, blah, blah, but there's hundreds of thousands of people which do.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, you've got to.
It's so hard, and
that.
But it goes back to then trying to please everyone again. And you will never do that. And you know, I get those comments sometimes. Yeah. And it's like, as much like, don't get me wrong, you got to remember where you started, but at the same time, we're all trying to grow. And
that's
we're not.
It.
It's not like you're only doing a Lamborghini. You got the golf. You're trying to hit all targets, and it will be that person who commented that who probably aspires to have a golf or aspires to have. Do you know what I mean? Now you've done the Lambo.
Yeah.
But there'll be the people like giving it the thumbs up and everything who like the Lambo build, who like, you know what I mean?
I think there's two types of people in the world. I think there's people that will see people doing well and it motivates them to do well. Like if I see a massive house on the street, I think, oh my God, I'd love to own that house. Can't wait. And it gives you motivation to do it. I see supercars, I'm like, I'd love to have one of them. And then there's people that see a big house, they see a supercar and they think, what an absolute knobhead. Like I would never get to that. I'll never have that. Only like the stupid rich have that. Oh, his mum and dad bought him that. You know, like they've just blocked in the head.
Of course.
And that's the reason why they will never own something like that, or they will never get to that point because they've already blocked it in their mind.
They're using too much of their energy to hate.
Yeah.
And not putting it into. If they use that much energy towards good and to creating something or doing something or building something,
that's it.
They would go far.
I've seen it like not long ago. I've seen it something where it says, if you ever thought about buying a new car and you start looking at this new car, say for example, like a Golf R, all of a sudden you start seeing loads of Golf Rs on the street.
Yeah.
It's because your mind is now starting to notice that.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing with your goals. If you set a goal, what you want to do, where you want to get to, subconsciously your mind starts doing things and you start moving to places because you're subconsciously going there, and that's the way you'll get to it.
100%.
If you think it's going to happen, it will happen. Like failing ain't even an option. And that's the way I think the channel's grown so quick, because I've just been so fixated on doing it. It's gone massive. And that's the only way I can explain how it's happened.
Well, that's it, bro. It's quite funny you kind of mention it like that, because I had a fella on a little while ago and it wasn't car related. It was actually a fella, his name's Ben Hatchett. He's got quite an inspiring story, done basically sentenced to life in prison at Broadmoor insane asylum. Basically, it's the end of the line. So basically he was sent to prison with no release date, basically, so indefinitely, right? And he managed to get out in about 11 or 12 years. And once he made it out, basically, one of the things one of the messages he's pushing is law of attraction. And he said something that kind of, it resonated with me. And he was like, basically, there's a saying, and I'll probably ruin it, and I don't know who said it, but basically he quoted it, and it was like, you know, if you see it here, you can hold it here.
Yeah.
But you've got to be able to see it here.
100%.
And if you put your energies towards something and you really, really want it, you can achieve it.
That's it. 100%. I believe that. Like, if you've got a positive mindset, positive things will happen. Like 100%. It's like you're full-time YouTube now, full-time everything. Is that quite recent?
It is. So it's like, and that's
I'm
daunting.
surprised by that because you had a massive following. Like,
do you know, it's crazy. How old are you? Out of interest?
27.
27. All right, I'm 32, right? But you're still of that generation where you probably, when you was in school, social media wasn't massive and people weren't making massive careers off it, right?
That's it.
So the reason it took me so long, there's a couple of reasons why it took me so long to kind of segue over to full-time YouTube. The first one being, I was raised and always taught that, you know, you come out of school, you either go to college, go uni, and then you get your job, or you come out of school and you get a trade. You'll never be out of work, right? So when I come out of school, I went into an apprenticeship to be a HGV mechanic.
Okay.
And that's what I'd done. I got my trade, and I'd always had a trade. I'd always felt safe in my employment. You know, through that, I, you know, got a mortgage on a house, this, that, the other. And then it gets to the point where, like, you know, YouTube started, and, you know, you're making a good living from YouTube, but then it's like, but is that a job? Is that a career? I've got a mortgage. This is all going on in my life.
That's
you know what I mean? It's scary.
The similar sort of. I think we was in the same sort of boat. It's like my mum is like one of these people, like, get a 9-to-5 job, live comfortably, go on a holiday once a year, this, that, get married, have a mortgage, blah 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 blah. My dad sees life differently, and he's like, you know, do what you want to do, enjoy it. You've like got one life. You'll be successful with whatever you do if you put your mind to it. So two different types of things. I had a full-time job, but I just felt when I was in that, I only had a full-time job for 3 years, but I knew when I was in that, this ain't right. Like some people are cut out 9 to 5. Some people, that's what they do. That's what they enjoy. 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, do it for the rest of their life, live happily. But I knew that this is not.
It's mad because I felt that too. I don't know how strongly I felt that at first because, as I say, going back to it, you know, when you kind of you're comfortable in what you're doing, you're earning a decent living,
that's it.
You're having your holiday once a year, you got your mortgage, you got your house, you got your missus or whatever, and they're doing it. But then looking back to that, that's almost like, you know, it's almost like a programmed thing into us. It's like, this is what you have to do. That is normality. You've made it, or you're living a normal, good standard of life when you can have that. You can have this, you can have, but it's so true that's there's so much more out there.
That's it. When you get to 70, like, scary thing, think about, like, everyone's gonna die one day. You're gonna die. If you're sat there and it is your last day on earth and you think, I did the same thing every single year until the day that I died, like, and I didn't take any risks or do anything, that is the worst thing. Like, that is scary thinking about that. Like, I try with my videos, I try and show the same thing to people, saying, like, take risks. Like, you're here once, like, take risks, things will work out. Like, it take risks, do things, because literally we are here once.
We get one go at it.
We
get one go at it. Like, you've got to take risks.
Like I said, my channel blew up through lockdown, and I got 5 weeks of furlough. I was at home. I was bored.
What were you doing, by the way, if you don't mind asking?
I was working at a performance car company. So it was like I was not hands-on doing things, which I normally would be, but I was just like building the websites, running the Amazon shop, eBay shop, that sort of stuff, like an all-round thing. In the evenings, I was going to work at an Indian restaurant, delivering Indian food, and I worked there for 10 years. Like, since I was 17, I just stayed there working. I got a full-time job, and then I was going there in the evenings, like, cashing.
See, that's graft there,
That's
bro.
it.
And I guarantee no one knows that. Like, you know what I mean? See, it's not like you just stumbled across, like, YouTube and it hasn't taken hard work to get where you. It's dedication,
like,
bro.
I had a plan before YouTube just came out of the blue. Like, I had a plan in my mind before YouTube, and I was like, right, I will make a way for me to be sort of like self-sustainable, where I can make money without having to work a full-time job. And that my idea was make as much money as I can, save as much as I can, and buy houses. I was going to buy houses, do them up, rent them out, this, that, and the other. And I started doing that. I bought my first house when I was like 21. Did it all up, rented it out, pulled some money out of it.
Sick guy.
Had that rented out. Then I did, when I was 22, I bought another one, and then again, and it kept going and going and going.
Wicked.
But I wasn't making enough to make it a full-time job. So I was still working full-time, still delivering Indian food in the evenings. And I was going like, you asked I don't know how my girlfriend's still with me, but like...
I said the same. Yeah. Shout out to you.
That's it.
Crazy.
She put up with the whole thing. And I was saying like, look, it will be worth it eventually. And then, I got furloughed for 5 weeks. And I was thinking, what the hell am I going to do? And that's where I thought, well, I took a risk. I'd saving up another deposit to buy another house. But at the time, I was really enjoying YouTube, and like a house can take a long time to go through. And during lockdown, I wasn't sure on the house prices, the up, down. Had some money like spare set over. I was like, let's buy a crash damaged car and then do it up, film it for YouTube. It works, it works. Doesn't it? Doesn't. I was looking for an A45 at the time.
Okay.
And then I lost these bids on eBay for this A45. Next thing I seen the Bentley pop up. It was like £10,000, and it was like a classified ad for like 10 grand at this like salvage yard. I said to my girlfriend, should we just do it? It's like something completely random, and like it's not like a really popular car on YouTube or anything like that, but it's random, and I feel like I can do it. Went and had a look at it, took the risk, did it, and like that is still my favourite car I've done. It was so fun.
So that kind of that being the start, that Bentley itself, it took you to places. I see, like, you're making it into the newspaper.
Oh my God, yeah.
Are you making it into the newspaper?
Yeah. Daily Express. Daily Express contact me and saying like, oh, we want to do like a feature on it, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, cool. They started putting like car restoration expert, but buys Bentley to rebuild on his driveway. I'm like, yeah, they've got the wrong end of the stick. Like,
but it's cool. At that point, you was kind of faking it. That's me.
And then I wanted to, so like, I'm doing it up in my own way on the driveway, and it just led to so many different things. Like sponsorships started coming and said, like, all right, we want to sponsor a video on the channel. I had no idea. I don't know any other YouTubers. I don't know what to charge. I'm not in the industry, anything like that. You know, like at the time I was like, just give me 50 quid. Like, you know, I'll do that. 45 seconds of a video, 50 quid. Yeah. Next thing I had an agency message me saying, how much to sponsor a video? I said, 50 quid, go on. They're like, mate, you can't be charging that. You can't be charging that. And then next thing I realised, really, this is how much people are charging. Like, there's this much money in YouTube. I was like, what the hell? Like, this is something that you could actually do for a living. Next thing, one thing led to another. I'm enjoying myself. I'm feeling like just better. I'm feeling healthier. You know, like in the morning I was going out for like a run, I was working out, and then I was working on the car, and I was like, this is the best I've ever felt, rather than getting up for a 9 till 5 and then coming home and feeling drained and having to go to work again. I was like, this is the best I've ever felt in so long. Sick. And it didn't hit me. Like, I always thought I'll still do it part-time on the side. I'll probably leave the restaurant and work and do my YouTube on the side, because I just thought, like you, is it a real job? Is it not? I don't know. And then I had my boss call me up and said, look, we're getting back to work next week. Can you come in on Monday? And then I've never had that feeling. That's it.
Did you say no? Did you? No.
I never had the feeling before. My heart sank, and I was like, oh God, I've got to go back to work. I've got to go back to reality. Went back, and I was just sitting there. It was only 1 week it took me. I was sitting there 1 week, and I knew that this ain't right. And I was sitting there thinking, what video am I going to film next? People were commenting on my videos. I'm sitting at work replying to the comments. I'm getting email messages, emails like sponsors, this, that, and the other. I said, and then I was just slacking at work. I was like, either I'm going to get sacked or I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
So I just went for it. And you tried telling your mum or your dad, like, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit work for YouTube. Yeah, that's it. What the hell? And then it just happened. Yeah. And I thought, let's go for it. We rebuilt the Bentley. We drove it Monaco in between the lockdowns. We was they lifted all the restrictions and everything. Was like, right, let's up and go. Let's go Monaco. Do the road trip in it. It would be fun. Everyone loved the video of that. And then raffling the cars became a thing as well. It was like, right, I want to move on to the next car. What's the quickest way I can get rid of it and move on to the next car? And something that was really engaging as well was raffling the cars. Like, I had a friend who's got like a car raffling company, got a competition company, and I said to him, don't fancy raffling one of these? Like, people, I like watching the videos.
It's a journey, isn't it? They've watched the journey. They can now
that's it.
Win the car.
People will hate regardless. Like, some people will say, oh yeah, you're ripping people off, you're doing this and that and the other. Like,
we can't listen to them, man.
If you think of it in like my perspective, I think it just works so well. Like, people watch the channel. They watch a car that they probably never would have bought in their life. They enjoy watching it. They feel like they own the car already because they've seen it being rebuilt from the start to the finish. So it's already brought them happiness and they don't even own it.
Yeah.
And then for like a chance to win it for like 10, 15 pound, I can make content of giving it away, giving it to the guy, everything like that as well. I sell it privately. I don't get what I want for it. I get countless time wasters. It would take ages to sell, but the raffling just works. It just works so well. And now people expect it. You know, like, I can't wait for the golf to be raffled.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
they're
expecting it to happen, and it just works hand in hand so well. And I don't know. I can't think about it too much because it does make my mind go mad.
But bro, honestly, do you know, it's so good. It's refreshing to see someone sat there so like happy. You seem, bro. You seem like the energy. This like. You seem healthy. You feel good.
Yeah,
bro. Like,
I love it. It's only just recently someone commented on my video saying, "I don't know whether it's because you came out your shell more, or whatever. Or I don't know, or you just become more of an entertainer or whatever on YouTube as time goes on. But you've just became more annoying each time. I can't even watch the videos now. You're shouting at the camera, it's saying." Look at the videos a couple of years ago. I'm working three jobs, and I was doing this on the side. You can tell I'm like, and I'm not used to being behind the camera. I'm like, hi, my name's Matt. Exactly. Now I'm doing it full time. I'm like this all the time. You see me on the motor, we're like, yes, I'm golf. Like,
it's good, man.
And that's what it's like. I'm over the top, but because I'm enjoying myself.
Exactly. Like, it's do you know what? The more you do it, the more the natural kind ofness of who you are. Just showing who you are comes out. And
That's it.
There's a message in that too, and I don't think it's only like to YouTube or like, you know, it's. I feel like, as you say, some people can find their love in 9 to 5s and doing that, and that's for some people. But you know, just being able to get up every morning and it's your schedule. And you're working to your schedule, and you're creating something, whether it be YouTube, whether it be a business, whether it be whatever it might be. When you're doing it for yourself and things are going how you want them to go, and you've built it, it's an amazing feeling. And you know what I mean? You're walking. You know
you must get the same thing. Like you drive a new car, you get a new car, you do a modification, like you wrap the RS5 or something, and then I can see it on the video, like you're absolutely buzzing over it. But some people are like, oh. Yeah, it's horrible. I hate these YouTubers. They're too cheesy and stuff like that. So we're loving life.
Exactly.
Like this is like it's getting me excited. When I watch people when they're getting excited over stuff as well, it's like it gets you like, oh yeah, that's buzzing. I want to do that.
It's literally what we live for.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? And some people don't know that,
some
or they don't understand
get it.
They're only half in the scene, or they only kind of did. Like, do you know what I mean?
That's it.
We live, eat, sleep, and breathe it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. And you can't explain why. Like, I can't explain why I like doing all this stuff to the car, because it just makes me. It's so impractical sometimes. The stuff I did to the Maserati, I can't even drive the thing. It sits in my unit. I think that is so sick.
It looks sick. You know what I mean? That's the main thing, bro. Shits and giggles, bro.
That's it. That's it. And like to look back at it when we're like old and think, oh, look at the stuff that I did. That is just too good.
Exactly.
Too good.
Exactly.
But no, everything just leads to one more. I feel everyone's got a kind of plan written out, but you've got to take the opportunities to take it. Bro, everything happens for a reason.
Was it philosophical? I feel the same. Everything happens for a reason. Everything is already written. We just kind of, do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's already written. Like, so it's hard.
You wouldn't be, like, it gets scary when I talk about like things that happened for me to got where I am now. Like, there's so many things that have just fell into place that feel like they shouldn't have. Like COVID with me getting furloughed for 5 weeks. I don't think I would have ever took the leap of quitting my full-time job if that wasn't to happen, because I realised what it was like living a completely different life, being furloughed for 5 weeks. So like that happened for a reason for me. It's like there was other people in the office that didn't get furloughed. I was like the one that got furloughed in the office because like the other people had kids and this, that and the other. And I feel like it happened to me for a reason. It was like someone telling me, right, you take that leap
this
now.
Is your chance.
Yeah, and just so many different things that I always feel when an opportunity like betrays itself, I just take it. Like you messaged me saying like, you want to come on the podcast, things like that. Like I never turn things like that down. I just think, let's go.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, because this is another thing I wanted to tell you. There's like, I've been doing these podcasts a while now. I haven't done loads and loads, but I've done a few. And I think every video comments, get Matt Armstrong on. Oh, shit, you not. So I was like, oh shit. Like Matt gets love in it. Like let me see what he's saying. So I thought, let me drop you a message. You replied, you're like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
like, okay. Because I know you're a busy man. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm absolutely mental. Like this, the stuff I think that I film is. You know, like sometimes I wish I'd been like a FIFA YouTuber or something. You know,
me too, bro.
You know, like,
oh man,
they're sitting there playing their PlayStation games or whatever. They're getting hundreds of thousands of views. It's not costing them anything, and they could just film like. Playing. I'm thinking like that's chill. Like
that's the dream.
I'm
bro.
literally the last video I just put out yesterday. Starting putting like the intercooler, induction kit.
I
and
saw
the
you doing it. I was thinking, bro, man went to work.
Oh my
That's a
God.
shift.
Like
that's a full shift.
I'm not even. I started like the intercooler and the induction kit wasn't that hard. The downpipe, there's a lot of swearing involved in that. I started at 12 o'clock, and I text the lads at like Mallory Performance, so they're in like the unit next to me, and I said, if you ever book a downpipe in for a Golf R, like just get ready to.
Do you have to drop the subframe on the Golf R?
Drop the subframe. I undo that engine mounts underneath, and there's no room for the catalytic converter to come out from the back. There's just no room. I've got like scratches in my hand. I've got splinters.
War scars.
I was there for 7 hours pulling the thing out, and you're thinking, I'm filming at the same time, and I'm doing the video at the same. I'm doing the work at the same time. Then I've got to get home, and then I've got to edit it, put it all together, and get it ready to go out for a video. And it takes so long.
Do you know what I mean? That's probably 24 hours worth of work.
And then some people are like,
you know what I mean?
Your videos ain't long enough, or you know, like some people say like, oh, some people like. You did the whole video, not much happened. It's like that.
Bro,
that took me hours.
Trust me. It's mad.
I
I can't remember who was having this conversation. I feel like it was Evil GT that when they were here last week. But
I like them guys.
They're wicked.
I like them.
Bro, they're so wicked. It was quite funny actually because we never got into any like. Usually I get into a bit of a story with the person that comes on. We just chat like every 2 minutes. We were bouncing from subject to subject to subject. But they're proper sick. They're dynamic, right? I don't think there's a better duo on YouTube.
Yeah, I really like. I stumbled across their channel, started watching them, but you end up, I don't know, it's just something about them that you just keep watching because it was just funny. You know,
it's like dry humour. They just know. Their timing is like,
that's
you know what I mean?
It just bounces on. It's like sarcasm and like, it's proper like Manchester banter sort of thing. And I think they'll grow like massively.
Bro, I think they are literally on the come up right now.
Yeah,
I think they grew to like, so they're quite small relatively still as YouTube's concerned. It's like about 30k subs.
Yeah,
but I think they've done that in like 6 months. Or
yeah,
something. You know what I mean?
It only takes like some people grow like slowly, but I think it only takes one of their videos to go mad, and then everyone finds the channel.
People start paying attention. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. I think I bought an Audi S5. That one he was on about, and that one video all of a sudden had like 30,000 subscribers off that one video, and I think that's what really got people watching and then going from there. I think it only takes one thing. It's like it's up and down each month. Like this month, my subscribers have not got nowhere near as many as what I usually get, but I know inside it's like it only takes one video and then everyone starts coming back
100%.
again, like.
100%. I don't think you should ever be worried, bro. You got such sick viewership, and you know I feel like you got a loyal fan base. That's how it seems anyway. Like, you know, what I mean? They know what they're gonna get when they kind of click on with you. Like, you know what I mean?
That's it. I like all the people that watch me. Everyone that I've met that I've watched the channel. I've always been like proper down to earth people. You know, like I can have just like proper conversation with, and they're not just like know-it-all knobheads. Everyone I've met are just like a normal bloke. Like, oh, watch you on YouTube. The amount of times we've just stumbled into someone random and they've just started going on thinking, no way does he watch the channel. We had like my girlfriend looks after all like the hoodie sales and the shop side of things, and she deals with a lot of the emails and that, and there was a chap on there saying, oh, my 13-year-old girl loves your channel. She watched it. Can you sign a hoodie for you? I think a 13-year-old girl
crazy, right?
watches me, and I'm there like going like, all you got to do is take the induction kit out. Surely she's not taking this in, but it's mad. It is absolutely mental.
No, that's sick. Bro, so basically I want to bring it back a little bit. I usually try to kind of delve in a little bit more to get to know like the person behind the personality. That's my slogan. And I think like it seems like you might have like a bit of a story because going back, in fact, where did you grow up?
Leicester.
You're Leicester through and through, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. Born there, lived there, stayed there, that's it.
Okay, because we were speaking off camera and you asked where I grew up, right?
Yeah.
And I said Harrow. So people who don't know, Northwest London-ish, Harrow, basically, is on the outskirts of Northwest London. And you said, yeah, I know it. And I was like, how do you know it? And then you was like, the skate park, right?
Yeah.
And then I thought, hang on, you're a BMXer, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about your BMXing kind of journey. I know it's kind of off subject, but tell me about that.
I think a lot of people are like interested in that as well. You know, that's really where I started doing YouTube and learning how to edit with BMX things. It was always like, you film your BMX tricks, and that's sort of how you got sponsorships. You put your video out, you do your best tricks, and then sponsors come like, this guy's good, or you have to enter in a competition. If you're entering a competition, you send the video across, like, yeah, you're good enough, you can come in. So that's how it started, like editing and videos came along. But I was BMXing from, like, I always played football, and then BMX took over, and yeah.
What was your BMX? Because like, when I was young, I had a mongoose, bro.
Oh,
is a mongoose in your bag, bro?
Yeah,
don't make me feel nice about myself.
Ain't that bad. Mine
didn't have the gyro though. Do you remember the gyro? So it was like the dirt bike one, bro.
Yeah, I still got a gyro on my bike. Like
sick.
it's I started off on like a Diamondback. So Diamondback was like
Diamondback. You used to be able to buy them. Did you have Cycle King up in Leicester?
No.
Cycle King used to be like the budget Halfords thing around our area.
I think that's a lot of people who like mess around with the bikes.
Yeah.
They mess around with the cars afterwards.
Yeah.
I used to be the same thing. I remember I got my Diamondback BMX, and there was this thing called like rally cycles, city cycles. And I just wanted the seat hiring a bit on it. I remember just taking it there. They charged me £8 to like hire the seat. I'm like, that didn't look that hard. And then,
I just undone the clip.
Yeah, I know. And that's it. And then that's when I start fiddling with that, and you learn how things work, and then one thing goes to another. But yeah, BMX was always. I started going down the racetrack when I was young, riding there, and I was rubbish at racing. I was the slowest one, but I loved just doing the tricks, trying to get high. And then that next thing, it was going to a skate park. I was like, oh, one thing led to another, riding the skate parks. I got better and better and better. Yeah. And then I picked up a sponsorship then.
So how good were you then? You must have been good.
I was okay.
You blow your own trumpet here, bro. Do it. Were you good?
Yeah, I was.
I thought I was alright. I could do a bunny hop.
Yeah, no, I
got
like sponsorship, and I was doing it for a living for when I was like, between the age of like 16 to like 20-ish.
No way.
That was it. I was working between those years. So I was at school. Well, I was at sixth form then, and I was just missing sixth form to go to competitions. You know, like I was going like France to go to like some competition.
Oh, you was that good?
Yeah, I coached in Dubai for like weeks, and like I was literally all over the place. All my mates were like staying like sixth form, never go on holiday. I was all over the place, but made like next to nothing, but enough to get me to all these places. And I was doing like shows and this, that, and the other.
Were you winning a lot, or no, or yes? Was the competition hard?
Yeah, I was always placing. So it started off the sponsor that started off was called like Mag Gear MGP. It was a scooter brand, but they started sponsoring BMXers. I got sponsored by them, and they were really good. So they said like they wanted to sponsor upcoming riders. So it became something like you qualify into a pro competition. And at the start, I was qualifying, but not getting through to the finals. And then I started getting through to the finals. Then it was like I was placing top 10 every competition. Then it would come to top 5. And then it just went bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'd say probably the best I was when I was like 20, 21, 22. And I was upset if I weren't top 5 sort of thing.
Really?
Yeah.
And like, so when you're competing now, are you competing against the world's best?
Yeah. So like we went to Germany, the BMX Worlds competition. I remember that competition. That was like before I got like a big injury, and I was like throwing myself on the line against like big riders, and it was like literally like world's best was there. And to qualify, you have to come in the top 16 to qualify to the finals. Then in the finals, it's a top 16 of the world. I qualify in the qualifying run. You get 2 runs and then last trick. So you do 2 runs, which is 60 seconds on the whole part. They went really well, and then I don't know why. For the last trick, they were like, right, okay, you got your last trick. I didn't really need to do anything crazy because I've done 2 solid runs, but I've been learning this like 720 tail whip, like which is like basically.
That just sounds mad, bro.
It's like 720, and you kick the bike all the way around as well.
What?
And I've been learning it. I've done it a few times, like on like a practice ramp, and I was like, I'm just gonna send it. Like I'm just gonna do it. Like the crowd's behind you, everyone's buzzing. Went for it, ended up like coming off, dislocated my shoulder. I qualified 16th place, but I had a dislocated shoulder, so I couldn't ride the finals. So I was absolutely bummed. And then since I had that shoulder, I never really got back to like fully protect. I think it was more of a mind thing, knowing that my shoulder was always there. It used to pop out randomly in my sleep and everything.
Oh wow!
And then Yeah, one thing leads to another, then it becomes in your mind, and then that's when I like obviously bought a house, and I'm thinking I've got a mortgage to pay, I don't want to die, like,
Bro, because you know what is nuts, right? When I used to go, like again, going back to Harrow Skate Park. Shout out to Harrow. Is that still a thing?
Yeah,
is it still a thing,
yeah, it's still a thing. Yeah,
oh, fucking
that was
hell.
like one of the. I think it's like one of the oldest skate parks in the UK. Or something,
Really?
you know,
Yeah,
like,
because I was going to ask, is there not a lot? Why did you come all the way from Leicester to there?
trust me, I used to go every skate park like there was. Like if there was like they call it like a jam day, and like I remember going to a jam day at Harrow. There's a lot of BMXers down here. Like there's a good scene around here, so you used to go down and ride with them and have a laugh. They used to come up. Everyone used to travel everywhere. Like, you know, I met so many people through BMXing that I never would have otherwise. And there is a really good scene, like London area for BMXing.
Because as I say, like my BMX career was very short, and it was very amateur. But I still knew the skate park was there. We used to ride to the skate park. It probably took us about half an hour because I'm the other side of Harrow.
Yeah.
And so I got there, and we used to just go up and down the things very, very cautiously. We come off the bowl or what. Actually, I couldn't even go in the bowl. It was too scary. I wasn't going in the bowl. I think in Harrow Skate Park, they've got like an eagle thing. So I think it's called the eagle. It used to have an eagle.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, for a kid, it was quite daunting, but I could come up it. I could do a little bunny hop thing off it. And I remember once I come up and I'd done a 180. I was learning a 180, bro. Who cares about 720 tail whip flips, bro? Man was doing a 180, yeah? And I'd done the 180 and I come out and I thought I aced it. I was getting really good at it. And I come out and my rear tyre popped. I was like, shit. Half an hour ride home, like, you know, with a flat tyre. So I had to wheel it home. But I remember once my mate was trying to do the same thing, right? And come out of it. I don't know what happened. But somehow, man landed on his head. Yeah?
Oh my.
Do you know when you hear the connections, concrete in his head? Yeah, it was like one of them. It was like that, yeah.
God.
Everyone in the skate park was like, "Ooh!" You weren't trying to do a mad trick. You just trying to do a little 180.
It always happens on stupid things like that.
And we was young. We was probably about 12 or 11. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he's on the floor and he's covering his head. Yeah. And I've run up to he's my best friend. Shout out to Glenn, right? And I went over to him. I was like, "Bro, let me see." And he went like this. Yeah, and you know when your friend will gauge your reaction to see how bad he's fucked up. Yeah. Bro, he looked like a rhino. I've never seen it. Man had a fucking cocoa on his head coming out like that. You know what I mean? As soon as he done it, he's like, bro, everyone's seen him and he's like, you know, like the Elephant Man. Have you ever seen the Elephant Man? He's running away. I'm not an animal.
No, it's the same thing. I remember those reactions all the time. I remember one session that we had at skate park, my mate's like, I can't hurt myself, I'm going skiing with the family tomorrow.
Oh, no.
So we go, he said it. I remember him doing a trick, he falls on the floor, and we all go, are you all right? And then, you know, I just remember looking down at his ankle and it was the wrong way round. Next thing I'm like, what?
Yeah,
I'm like, what? And then he's like, what? And I'm like, look at your ankle. It's like the wrong way.
We're meant to be the calming friends.
Oh my
like,
God.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I'm running away. Honestly, there's so many things. Like I busted my shoulder, my front teeth, they're all fake because I smashed them out. Yeah.
See, this is what I mean. You BMXers are fucking crazy. Going back to it, the bowls, the fucking the things there, bro. Concrete, crazy shit. And you're doing mad flips off it, bro.
Your mentality changes as you get older. You know, like you don't... When I was like 16, 17, I don't know why, I used to think, right, I'm going to land this trick. I'm going to do it. You don't know why. I just wanted to do it. I was like, yeah, it feels great.
Yeah.
But you don't think about what happens if you fall off. You don't. Yeah. And now that's what I'm more thinking about. I still
Did you have the helmet and everything?
Yeah, I always had my helmet.
The knee pads and the elbow pads.
I never had like elbow pads.
Because there's got to be some uncool accessories.
Yeah, I just had a helmet and then I had like knee and shin pads under my jeans.
Okay.
And that was like pretty much it. And
did you have brakes? Because I know there was
one brake.
One brake,
rear brake. But there's a lot of people that
had no brakes.
No brakes. Yeah.
I was thinking, that was wild to me. When I used to go to the skate park, my mongoose didn't have the twisty thing, the gyro.
Yeah,
didn't have the gyro.
Yeah.
It had two brakes. I wasn't even going down the big ones. And then these crazy guys, bro, they weren't even wearing the helmets, the nothing. They want no brakes on their shit. I'm like, what are they doing, bro?
The people without helmets is like a thing that does my head in, like, now, because you say like your mate fell off just doing a 180. It can be anything. You can whack your head and that's it. It puts you out.
I think he's still got that lump on his head, bro.
Yeah.
That was about fucking 20 years ago.
I always think I put a helmet on regardless, but yeah, BMXing was like a mad thing, and it used to be partying as well, like a lot of partying. I remember it was actually coming to Harrow here. We rode Birmingham in Redditch. There was a skate park there, really good one. And then like the lads we were with were like, right, next day, it must have been summer holidays or something. It's like, right, one of us could drive, one of them could drive. And we was like driving down to Harrow. Someone was having a party here and was going to stay there. Next day we'd ride the skate park. I remember we're sitting, like it must have been Vauxhall Corsa, and there's two of us in the back of it, one of us in the front. We've got like a bottle of vodka, like massive, and we're swigging it on the way down because when we get to the party, we're primed and ready. So there's like us three in the car, the guy's driving away, and we're like absolutely smashed. Like, you need to pull over. We're dying for a wee. He had to pull over on the hard shoulder. We're having a wee. On the side of us. What the hell are we doing? Like stuff like that, like funny memories like that, and then. Get in there.
So did you guys used to go like hanging like to the fucking skate park like the day after? Like,
yeah, like the next day. Most of the competitions I rode, I was absolutely smashed the night before. Like, like the ones in France were the best ones. You used to get a lot of the time the competition used to pay for you to go. You get the hotel and everything. Then your sponsorships give you like your sort of spending money out there anyway. So it's a free trip. So what do you do when you're like 17, 18? Exactly. You get there on a Friday, you practice. In the evenings, you go out and you get absolutely hammered. The next day, there'll be a sauna or something in the hotel. You sit in the sauna, you sweat it all out, and then you're straight on the course riding. And that's it. And that used to be like the lifestyle. It was so fun. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I remember sitting on planes on my own thinking, oh my God, this is boring. But it changed.
That's a crazy
everything.
lifestyle,
I even met my girlfriend through it. That's like really how that came about. It was BMXing. I started doing shows. Like we had a portable ramp. We're doing shows to this, that, and the other. Bookings everywhere. I did a show in Lincoln, and it was a 2-day show, and was camping there. Like it was like an RAF field sort of thing, and it was like a big event. So we did one night, did the show, and then was like, what should we do? Let's go out and. Go out in Lincoln Town for the night, and then we'll ride the next day. Went out in Lincoln Town, ended up meeting my missus there who I'm with now. Just in a nightclub there, spoken to her, got a number. Didn't really think anything of it.
Did you drop the BMX line when you was there?
I was like, I'm doing shows.
You got to use your powers.
Next thing, like, stayed in contact, this, that, and the other. The week after, I was doing 3 weeks in Dubai, coaching like kids over there, and I was on my own in Dubai, like in a hotel for 3 weeks. Coaching kids, and it gets kind of boring and you're on your own, like sort of thing.
You want to share the experience.
That's it. And then it got to the second week, and on the last week, like I was always still talking with Hannah the whole time, like just texting saying, oh, I'm here and doing this, and then like we like FaceTime at night or whatever. I said, why didn't you come for the last week? I've got a hotel. Why don't you just come over? Like bear in mind, we only met each other once.
Oh no.
She had like a full-time job and everything, and she goes, oh, I'd love to do that. Like, next day. She asked her work if she can have a week off work the following week, and they said no. And and she FaceTimed me. She goes, "Oh, my work said no, but I've quit my job." I was like, "You what?" She goes, "I'm desperate to come. I've always wanted to go to Dubai. I feel like it's an opportunity." You know, she was like me. It's an opportunity sort of thing.
That's what I was gonna say, bro. She's like-minded.
Yeah. She thought it's an opportunity. I don't want to miss it. I've quit my job, and then she's like, right. I was like, okay, right.
Pressure's on, isn't it?
Like,
I
didn't actually think she was going to do it. I kind of said it as like a half joke, like, why didn't you come out like to Dubai? Like, next thing, she's trying to explain to her mum and her dad while she's flying halfway across the flipping world to Dubai wild, to a guy that she's never met before.
That's wild.
She had to like lie to her dad. Hopefully he's not watching this. But had to lie to her dad. I've known him for ages, since school. She didn't have any money for the flights or anything like that, so she asked her dad for the money for the flights, and he gave it to her. She told her mum like the true story, and I was on FaceTime with her mum saying like, look, I'm not a drug dealer.
This ain't a dodgy deal. Like.
She came out, spent a week together, came back. Since then, she moved to Leicester, got a job in Leicester, and then it just went from there.
Bro, that's it. Well, at least you know she's dedicated. You know what I mean? That's dedication right there.
Again, that, like I said, it's a weird thing how everything works out, but it's strange.
So going back to BMXing, like with the tricks and that, what's like the maddest trick?
Like, you know what? It's changed since like there's two different types of riding. I thought it was always like competition riding, and then you've got like your YouTube riding. Your YouTube riders, like those guys would do mad stuff. I don't know if you ever watched any of like Harry Main's stuff, or you know Ryan Taylor. Or
I've seen Ryan Taylor bust some crazy. He does some like a flip. It's kind of backwards and then he kind of spins in the air.
Yeah, so like these guys, like this was like the scene like back in the day. Like all these guys were like top of the game, like Ryan, Harry, this, that, and the other.
Were you competing against those boys?
Yeah, like. But BMX is like a really good scene. Everyone's like kind of friends with each other. There's no like hard feelings like we're competing against each other. Everyone used to be like, if you're doing a mad trick, you're just like, that was sick.
That's sick.
Like,
yeah.
It was like that. And I think then Harry went off to do like more YouTube video type of thing. So, you know, he'd do like the maddest tricks, like world first tricks, but you could have been spending like ages trying to do that.
You weren't pulling
trick
it off on the first time.
Yeah, that's it. Where you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And a competition is like maybe not the craziest tricks, but you've got them dialed, so you can do like a solid run where you're doing loads and loads of tricks in a minute.
Yeah.
And like they're not the best tricks, but it's a solid run and it'll place you high. And then you've got like a YouTube sort of rider, which has got like mental tricks. People will watch the videos, but in a competition they're maybe not so good because they've not got everything all locked down. And I feel like that was the kind of separation between it, and it's become like more so now. But now it's literally, there's kids like 16, 17 years old which are doing stuff I don't even know how they're doing it. Like the game's leveled up,
it's
like,
just leveled.
and it will keep getting, like, the ramps will get bigger, people go higher, there's bigger tricks will happen.
Is it a young man's game? Like, is BMX? Could you be this age now and still be at the top of your game?
100%. Like,
Okay.
there's older people riding still, and like they're doing well. It's just how you keep yourself and your passion for it, and your mentality as well. Like, if you're doing it for the right reasons. Like, now I'll go out, I'll still ride now. I'll take my bike. I went up to that awesome GTR the other week. I know there's a skate park around there. Throw the bike in the back, go for a little ride.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but
you must be like a little celeb when you fucking like, oh shit, am I seeing it?
It's funny. Like, I'll go there, and if I'm with the camera or something, there'll be like kids there, and they'll be like, "Oh, you YouTuber?" I was like, "Yeah," and they're like, then they just search on YouTube and expect to see BMX stuff. It's all cars.
Yeah.
But, like, I'll ride there, but I ride for fun now. I don't like push myself to do mental stuff. I'll just ride for like a laugh. But it's it's changed. It's changed a lot. Like BMXing now, the younger kids are just taking over. It's
kind of always happens, isn't it? The levels, the boundaries always get pushed.
That's
the more the sports around.
It's been announced it was meant to go in the Olympics last year. That was like the newest thing in the
freestyle
Olympics.
BMX.
Yeah, freestyle BMX was new in the Olympics last year, and like they're building up like a Great Britain team, and then that's when it started to become more serious as well. BMX has always been, you know, like that sort of underground sport where people are just like laid back, and then all the competitions running up to that, it's sort of like you have to get into the Great British team, you ride in all these competitions and you gain points sort of thing, and then like if you at your top of your points sort of thing, then you can get in the team. So then things started changing, you know, like there was just random thing. Not that I ever did drugs or anything like that, but there was like drug tests, and then
and that's when you bowed out. That's when you're like, no.
That's a problem.
Never done drugs, but
that's a problem for a lot of BMXers. You know, like there's things like that, and then like the runs got it was judged differently. Like it was judged more stricter, and it was like 60 seconds, bang on, that's it. Like there's nothing else, and everything became a lot more strict, and I don't feel like that's kind of like what BMX was. BMX
meant to be that raw, street kind of.
It's freestyle BMX. You do what you want. Like that's why that's why I stopped playing football to do it, because I didn't like being coached at football. I didn't like, this is the way you do stuff. That's the way you do. Freestyle BMX. You do what you want. You do what you like. Use your imagination. But then it started to become, if you do these tricks, you're gonna get marked more. If you do this, you're gonna get marked more. And then it becomes something like you're being coached to do, and then you start losing interest. And that's where I don't like that. I think it's been the story of my life. I don't like working a 9-to-5 job. They tell you what to do. But
you're a free spirit. You need to be doing what you want to do.
What you want to do, and then that's it. It became like that,
and
it just fizzles out for me. But I mean, I still love it. I still ride BMX, but for different reasons now, different reasons. But no,
so,
it's good fun.
Talking about obviously cars, and going back to cars, shall we say? Like I like to find out where people got their love for cars from, and like, what did you always have a passion for cars? Was it a young passion for cars, or did that come on later after BMX? And when did that come about?
When I never had a passion for cars when I was like 13, 14, 15. It didn't even cross my mind.
I was just thinking about pussy at that age too, but I'm not going to lie to you, bro. Cars are nice, but pussy was better.
I didn't know anything about, like, my dad was a mechanic. Like, my dad was a mechanic. He's got his like own business, mobile mechanic, and mainly like he had like rented a ramp from some place, and I know he used to do that sort of thing, but never really took interest in it. I was always like cars. Well, no, not cars. So like BMXing, like that was about it.
This
is a BMX, and that was about it. And then I turned 17, and then all of a sudden you want a car. I got a car.
What was the first car? What was the car?
It's a Ford Fiesta Mark III Ford Fiesta, like 1.1 litre, and it was rattly as anything. It was like £200 though.
£200?
£200. I remember passing my test, thinking like, yeah, my dad will buy me a car or something. I know. And then like, say, oh, my dad was like, you better buy yourself a car now. I was like, what? Like, how am I going to afford a car? Bought this £200 Fiesta. It was like 1,500 quid to insure, and it was ridiculous.
I bet you spent more on your BMXs than you did on a fucking car, innit?
I remember I got the car, and then all of a sudden, like your BMX, I started wanting to do stuff to it. I thought, oh, that would look nice if it had different wheels on it.
Yeah.
And
Is that the first mod?
What was the first mod? No.
Did you mod it or no?
I did.
I
wish I had a photo. I could show you this because
have you got a photo? Yeah.
I must be able.
If you have, you'd have sent it to me and I'll put it on screen.
Yeah, probably on the screen right now. It's absolutely ridiculous what I did to this car. Like it is a true like. If you've seen this car from what it was then when I was 17, you would know that the stuff that I make now
makes sense.
It makes sense. Like, trust me. But and then my friends were doing stuff to their cars. It was sort of like, whose car's faster than the other? Mine was the slowest out of all of them. I remember at the time, my friend had a little mini, old school mini, and that was the slowest out of everyone. Then I bought a car, my Fiesta, and it used to get absolutely handed by this mini. Like, this mini was gapping me. It was the slowest thing. I remember just sitting on the limiter like trying to beat this mini. But I sort of like got over the fact that like, right, this car's not going to be quick. I just want to make it look nice.
Yeah.
I think the first thing I did, I wanted to lower it.
Okay.
So I was looking for like lowering springs, realised how much everything costs. I was at like school at the time, and then I was doing my BMX, and I barely had any money to do it. So I can't do that. What can I want to lower it though. Maybe it's like, oh, why don't you just chop the springs? So I was like,
the old chop the springs.
Yeah. Next thing, I'm like looking on YouTube how to do it. Yeah. So I just like, I'm just gonna start doing it. Like if it doesn't work, and the car's stuck, I've got around with BMX before.
Yeah.
Suspension off, chop the springs, got it on the floor, weren't low enough, chop them again. Next thing, the car's got 2 coils on, and it's like,
scraping the arches
on the floor. It used to bounce like that. I used to get flashed and everything. People used to pull over because I used to have those HID lights.
Oh, and they used to be right in the eyes.
And they used to bounce like that. People used to pull over. Yeah. I got like 13-inch. I found some 13-inch Ford Capri wheels. I put them on it. Oh. So then it's low, no arch gap on 13-inch wheels. It was like absolutely dropped to the floor. Yeah. And the colour was red. I didn't like the colour of the car. So red's not my thing. I went to Halfords. I bought like, must have been like 50 spray cans. like
no
matte
way.
Black. Yeah.
Matte black.
Yeah, we went on my mate's driveway. We taped up the whole car. And then we just
outside with a spray can.
Yeah.
Straight up.
We spray painted the thing. Matte black. I remember when I got a scratch on it, I just used to keep a matte black rattle can in my car. I used to
straight. Oh, yeah, that's
it was
sick.
matte black.
That's sick.
Did so many things to that. I remember the engine went on it in the end. Like it blew up, and then I was saving up anyway. I was like always like German cars. I bought a Volkswagen Lupo Sport after that. I love that car. It's so good. Yeah. And then with that, just did the normal thing, lowered it, put like some like BBS reps on it and that sort of stuff. And I love that car. It was wicked. And then it just went from then on. Yeah, it was always German cars. I think I like.
Is that your vibe? German,
yeah, that's it. I've never been into like any. Well, now I've got like the Maserati still is like a different. That was like a different step really, but even from working on that, I would never have another Maserati ever. The build quality is absolutely woeful. Like
really,
yeah.
Go on, speak on that. Tell us a little bit more info. Why do you say that?
Like, I don't know. Everyone like Maserati was another one of these cars. I got it sort of after the Bentley. Like I seen these cars which were. I used to look for the list price. What's the most expensive list price? But what's the most devalued car now? Yeah. Maserati is one of them. And
you can pick them up dirt cheap.
Yeah, they've devalued so much. And I was like, well, that'd be interested to buy one to sort of work out the reason why they've devalued so much. And I bought it. You think Maserati is like a luxury brand. People aspire to have Maseratis. You hear it in like rap songs.
Ain't it like got some Ferrari heritage or
yeah.
Weird?
Like, and the engine, everyone says it's unreliable, but I disagree with that. Well, I've made mine unreliable now, but I disagree with that. But the engine is like Ferrari. I think it's got like a Ferrari block or something like that. It sounds mint. It is a solid engine. It's slow as anything. It's a V8.
Yeah, that's 4. what I heard. They sound like one of the most beautiful cars, but they're shit
slow.
Oh
my god! My friend in my M2, I remember, like was on like walkie talkies on the way to a track, and he goes, "Oh, was on a dual carriageway." He goes, "Right, we'll do like a flat down race. I was like, yeah, okay, like 3, 2, 1, go. He's gone. And then it was like, oh, we'll try again. Next one, we'll try again. I was like, no, I had my foot down. He goes, what? I didn't think you were ready. I was like, no, I had my foot flat to the floor. And
that's the thing. And an M2 is not even the fastest car.
It's so heavy and everything, but the outside, do you know, I think you learn when you start taking things apart, you realise from working on the best cars I had to compare it to, it had Audi R8 2007, and then I've got the Maserati Gran Turismo 2007. Both cars sat together, you sit in one of them, it feels, the Audi R8, it doesn't really age much for 2007. It looks like a new car. Inside, it's nice Audi sort of feel to it. The Maserati is just tacky. Like,
really?
You know, like the buttons, I wish I could like
plasticky
they're sticky, like, and it happens with like the Ferraris as well, like old Ferraris. They're sticky. They don't feel nice to touch. The leather in there it's not like leather. It's like plastic. It's like lifted up off the door cards,
kind of.
And then things like underneath the car, the way things are held together, you never see things like this in an Audi. Like the arch line is held in with a lot of like like Phillips screw head. Yeah, you never see that on an Audi. You know, it's always like nice, like 10mm bolts, or like it Torx heads and stuff like that. The way everything was held together is just not. Yeah, it's not nice at all. It's kind of rusty underneath, which I get that it's going to be different from each car, but 2007 Audi to that, you can't.
And about the same age, yeah? The Maserati about 2007?
Same age, yeah, 2007. But you just can't compare it. I mean, it's not bad to drive it. Like, I still see a lot of people like aspire to have them and stuff, and they're fun to drive. The noise is incredible, but they are slow. And if you try and find parts for them, it's ridiculous.
Expensive, are they?
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't buy a crash damaged one to start with, because I would have sort of steered away from doing the Liberty Walk kit on it, because I would have spent so much repairing it that I would have never been able to have anything. Like, I remember the brake discs and pads that they were like on the way out, and that was the first thing I looked at, and I was like, right, do EBC do like a step of them or something?
Let's go down Euros.
I was like, do they do it? Yeah. No one does like anything, like they've not copied them. Yeah, there's no aftermarket. Yeah. You have to get them straight from Maserati. It was like £600 for like couple of discs on the front and nothing special. Like, I
guess this is why a lot of these cars do devaluate, because people. All right, cool. You can afford the car, but can you afford to run it?
Yeah, that's the thing. And that was the thing with the Bentley. It was like, is that going to be one of them? Is it going to be you buy a cheap Bentley? Because even still, you can pick them up under 20 grand. Those Continental GTs, like 2006, 2007, the W12 engine in, and the mint, and it was not actually that bad, the Bentley. You could find parts. Yeah, a lot of it's all German stuff, like when they've teamed up with Volkswagen.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's not that bad. It's stuff when it just has Bentley badges on it, that's when you run into problems, like washer bottles and stuff, which is specifically for Bentley. You can't cross, because the Bentley Continental GT was like a Volkswagen Phaeton. It's like the same thing.
Really?
So you can just cross things. Like, not of Audi A7, you can swap, not A7, A6 even. You can swap. Things are interchangeable, but when it comes to Maserati, you've got no chance.
Do you know what I find, right? So, like, going back to it, like, you can afford to buy the car, but can you afford to run it? It boils down to, like, have you ever looked at, like, even like, let's say, a 3-year-old Porsche or a 3-year-old Bentley or something? You look at it, and sometimes they've had like 3 or 4 owners.
Yeah,
and you're like, that's it. And not even sometimes, quite often.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. It's because, like, they come into their first bill when they're like, you know what, I'm going to shift this car on.
That's it.
Or as soon as it's out of warranty, get away with it.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's a massive thing. That's a massive thing. As soon as it's out of warranty, as soon as they get a repair bill, as soon as they start realising, okay, I'm paying £580 a year to tax this, and then my service bills are ridiculous. I can't get parts anywhere else but apart from the main dealer. Yeah, this ain't for me. And then they switch up, and I think that's why most of the cars on the road now are newer cars. Like, people are a bit scared to take the step into like an older V8 car.
Exactly.
I love them. I think they're like older cars, like, with
the older it goes, the bigger engines, the rawer it is.
Oh,
usually.
yeah,
not even the bigger engines, but the older the car, the rawer the drive.
I love it. Like, the C63 V8 was always one that I wanted to do, and like I said, I did buy one, but it was smashed up. We got a bit done over on it. That was like during like Christmas time. Okay.
When you said, was it a car that you brought to the channel, or you didn't?
Yeah, I put it on the channel, but I only did like 3 videos on it.
Okay.
And so C63 coupe, the 6.2 litre V8. and I seen it on. Well, at first I remember I tried to bid on it on Copart. It's like a car auction site where it's all smashed up, and I lost the bids on it. It went for like more than I expected it to. I thought it went for like £13,000 or something, and it was literally had a front end smash. Then next thing I see it straight on eBay afterwards but like a breaker's yard sort of eBay. They just buy cars off,
and put them straight on.
and put them straight on, try and make a bit of cash. It was on there for a while, and at the time I had another car. I didn't really think of like buying it, and then it came to the time sort of towards the end of a project. What can we do next? I was like, right, C63. Always wanted one. Seen it. Stupid. Like I've got lucky with cars, to be honest. And I kind of rang him up. Didn't even go look at it. And I said like, is it all right? Like, does it run? He goes, yeah, it runs. It drives. It's just like this wrong with it. I said, is there any frame damage? Not that I know. I've not had a look at it.
Yeah.
Got it there. And as soon as he drops it off, I paid him. And then I started to look at it. It's the biggest rookie error I've ever had. And then literally like one of the chassis legs was pushed back into the like bulkhead of the car.
Okay, so they would call that like a Cat C.
It was only categorised as a category S, so like structural damage.
Yeah.
But a lot of the cars they do a category S structural damage, and the insurance will write stuff off, especially like an older car like that, for nothing now. They'll category S it and say like it's got structural damage, and it's just be like a bit of suspension work here and there. But like really, it should have been a Cat B, like a breaker. Like you can't put them back on the road. It should have been that, but the insurance wouldn't have looked that far into it to see the damage. They would have just like took a wing off, seen it, structural damage. That would do. Like but what had happened with that car is it had I saw it had all the airbags gone in the inside, and I thought, okay, front end smash. But then the crash bar on it was like new, almost like new. I was like, the crash bar.
Someone had started to repair it. Kind of thing.
So what they've done, they put a new bonnet on it, new wings on it. They put new arch lining in there, and sort of covered over the damage to make it look like it wasn't as bad as the crash as it was.
People were going that far. They actually put new parts to hide.
Yeah. So anyway, it turns out what happened was it was actually on Copart before I seen it with a much worse accident. I found the pictures of it, and it was absolutely smashed in full front end, absolutely crumpled. And I think it was Copart that did it, because if they didn't sell a car or something, I heard they're known for doctoring up them and then re-auctioning them. So it was for sale at one Copart, didn't sell. A couple of months later, it's on again, but this time it's got a bonnet on it, wings on it, new crash bar. It's got different wheels on it, like not damaged wheels, and it doesn't look as bad as a crash. It just looks like, you need front bumper, headlights, that's it, you're on. And so obviously someone bought that. This chap who obviously bought it just resells them, and he must have done the same thing. He must have seen it and been like, well, it's not that bad, and then got there and think, oh my God,
shit.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just whack it back on eBay. If I would have gone there and looked, I would have got away with it. But
you had it straight trailered to your house?
Yeah, I didn't even look at it. I did the same with the Bentley.
Shit.
I bought it off him. It was like 14 grand I paid for it. Yeah, and I got it back to my unit, and had a look at it and realised, oh my God, this is wrong. But I was like, you know what, it's something different. I'm going to rebuild this. I know frame damage is fixable. You can like straighten things out and everything.
Yeah.
I had like a body shop come to me and say, right, we'll work with you and help you do it. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Make a series. The first video went mad. It was on like YouTube trending page and had like 8,000 subscribers off like this one video. And I was like, people want to see this done. I'm just gonna do it. I don't care what it costs. It's gonna build the channel up. And then the body shop had it for like a week or so. They rang me up and said, there's only 2 jobs we've ever turned down the whole entire length of is being open, and this is going to be one of them. And,
what the fuck? Because of when they say, was it that bad?
Yeah, the chassis leg was pushed so far, it like back in, and they said like you could bodge it back together. So like what they were saying was like people would do it, and I think someone has done it because I've sold the car, and
There's someone driving around with uncategorized fucking...
I think someone's done it because what happened is the chassis leg pushed all the way back. It was about a foot back, so and then they could see it's actually it was bad, like really far back, and so obviously the subframes bolt into that chassis leg, so the subframe's like that then, so the wheel looks dead far back in the arch on one side. But it said what they could do is you cut the chassis leg off, you extend it out sort of thing, so you get it level in the same place, everything bolts up, so it looks straight as anything, but you know the crease in the chassis leg,
Yeah.
that's still pushed in the bulkhead further back, but you wouldn't see that because you've chopped the chassis leg in there. But if you have an accident in a car
You're
like
fucked.
that,
the car's just going to explode.
Yeah, you've had it. And he says, like, this car is capable of over 200 mile an hour sort of thing. So if we repair that and then you go out on the road and you kill yourself in it, it's like our name. And like, we can't be doing stuff like that, especially on YouTube. It's
That's
like
wild.
He goes, a little Volkswagen, like Polo, Lupo, something like that, you could do it, get away with it. But that, you're not doing it. Yeah, you don't want to do it. It's never going to be straight.
That's mad.
And I was thinking, like, oh no, what am I going to do? Like, had another company message me, like a car auction company, saying, we've got a, like, it was a really good deal actually. They watched the video and they said, oh, we've got a category B C63. Well, they didn't say category B to start with. They said, we've got a C63 up for auction. We want to give you all the parts. Like, it's completely, like, no damage to it, but it's been flood damage. So it's
cool.
like, the engine's gone. So they're going to take the engine. They'll give me the car for the parts so I can swap it over. So I've already had all the parts ready. I was like, oh, this is going to be mint. And they said, as long as you do the promotion for us, we'll give you all the parts for your car there. So I was like, mint. When they told me that it wasn't fixable, this body shop, I rang this auction company who was going to give me this C63 and said, look, my one's not repairable. Can I swap the parts over on that one?
Yeah.
And they said, you can't put our one back on the road because it's category B.
Oh, and that's every...
Yeah, and I was like, why is that? Because there's no damage on it. It says, oh, it's flood damage and that. And then they said, there's only a couple of reasons why they'd category B a car if it's not that smashed up. And do you know if there's been like a fatality in the car, if someone's died in the car, they'll category B the car.
So someone's drowned in it.
Yeah, so I was like, so that's what they didn't actually say that to us, but they said that would be one of the reasons. So someone would have probably drowned in the car, and then they just category B the car.
If someone dies in a car, you can't.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of it before, but that's what they told.
I guess it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, so they'll just category B it straight away if there's a fatality in it, because there was no damage on that car whatsoever. It was absolutely mint condition, same colour.
So do you know what? Some people commit suicide in cars, isn't it? Carbon monoxide, didn't it?
Oh yeah,
so I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, this one was flood damage, so I'm thinking maybe. Did they drive it into a canal?
That's wild.
I don't know. Like, it was so that was the thing. I was like, oh my god, yeah. That, to be fair, you wouldn't want to be driving around something.
Fucking ghosts come out halfway.
yeah, that's it. And that's the thing. You don't. I was like, yeah. So mad. In the end up decided, right, I've just got to cut my losses, and I think I sold it for like $6,000.
No.
Yeah, I took a massive loss on it.
And bro, that's probably for sale right now in Birmingham. In fact, someone's probably driving down the road sideways, in a fucking grey C63. Now you know why your car goes sideways and not straight.
Where did it go?
Guarantee that's in Birmingham right now.
No, it was another area that you.
What's your best price on it?
It was like Leeds. Not where's close to Leeds, but like where everyone like says is proper
Bradford.
Sketchy. Bradford. That's where it went.
It went Bradford.
That's where it went.
There's someone watching this who owns that car.
It's in Bradford.
It's in Bradford.
But I don't know what happened to it, whether they fixed it, whether they broke it for parts.
They probably fucking cut one in half and welded two together and made a good one, bro.
Like, people were saying to me, just whack it back straight on Copart. Like, you could put a bumper on it and make it look like nice. But I was like, I could not live with myself, doing that. And there's like 400,000 people who watched the first video on that. They're bound to see that car and know, like, but that was a massive loss in that car. But you learn a lesson from it. Then it was like, now I know, like, in fact, I'm actually going to look at a car after this in Luton. And
okay, multitasking, yeah. All right, that's why he's down here, really. It makes sense now. All right.
But I know now I've got to look at the car. Yeah. I know where to look at before I buy it. I don't just jump into it now.
Can you give us exclusives or no?
Oh, yeah.
You can?
You can. When's this one going live?
So this is probably next week. So it's Wednesday today, probably next Monday?
BMW M4 in Luton. Yeah, it's one of them which could be sketchy, might not be. I spoke to the guy on the phone. Sounds a bit sketchy, but but it's
smashed up, or?
Yep, it's fully smashed up. It's M4 comp. So it had front end damage, windscreen smash. All the airbags are gone. Front end damage. He said to me that it runs, but because the airbags have gone off, you can't start the car, like, because it will cut the ignition for safety and everything.
So how does he know it runs?
He says, oh, I've bypassed it, I've started it, I've got a video of it running. Oh. This is the risk, and this is what I'm going to try and knock him down on if I go there. Again, it's going to be one of them. As long as it's straight, if the engine's gone, then it doesn't matter because it's changeable, it's fixable.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind that, and that's the beauty of doing stuff with YouTube. It's
Yeah.
like I know I'll get my money back through the content and the things I'm making. Some stuff is like it doesn't make sense for normal people. They're saying, "Why are you doing that to a Bentley? Why are you doing that?" It doesn't make. It's not cost effective.
For you, almost if you find out the engine's like doesn't work after you bought it,
more content.
There's more content.
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
it. So I just want to know: is the car straight? Can it be put back on the road? That's all I want to know. And a BMW is. I started modifying my missus BMW. She had a 1 Series like years ago, and that's one of my most popular videos on YouTube. It's like just building a 1 Series. So I think a lot of people want to see another BMW, and I thought, right, M4, M3, or like a 140i would be sick. Like I've always looked at 140i and put an M2 front end on it. I thought that would be cool.
That would be sick. I think people have done that kind of thing.
I
They
think
look
that's
really
it.
cool.
I've seen
really
that.
cool.
I really want to do that, but again, finding a crash damaged 140i is. That's the thing. I always like.
I'm surprised there's not plenty of them. People thinking of heroes in those.
You think I like buying the crash damage one because then not only I film the content rebuilding it, then I can film modifying it. You know, you probably find
it's the whole
yourself,
journey, innit?
That's it. You find it yourself. You buy a car, and then you run out of things to do to it. You're like, what can I do next for content? Like I want to do something, but you run out of things. Whereas if you buy it crash damage, there's always little perks and things which pop up and which are not quite right, and then you film and rebuilding it, then modifying it, this, that, and the other, and it's like a full journey then.
Yeah.
But this M4's popped up. And
What does an M4 go for? Like, so what is it? What is it? In fact, so what is it categorized as?
This is a category S again, so structural damage, which I sort of try and ignore. Some people say, "Oh, it's structural damage, it's gone," but my missus had an Audi TT. She got in an accident with that. Got categorized as a category S, and it was like a few suspension parts, and that was it. So
there's levels. There's a spectrum of category S.
That's it. It's category S. He's got it up for 16,900.
What year?
And it's a 2016 plate.
Comp, yeah?
M4 comp, 22,000 miles on it.
That's good. Money.
But I don't even, these mileage on these BMW second-hand ones, I don't even like.
You don't even take that into account. They've been clocked.
They're always clocked. Like there's no way there's a legit BMW out there with legit
Put
mileage.
a 1 in front of the mileage.
That's it. They're 100%. It's got to be clocked. So I don't even think about that. But I think it's way too expensive. For what he's got it up for, so I'm gonna go in with like a low ball offer. So like if you're watching this, then I'm gonna go in there and just gonna say like, oh, I wasn't expecting it to be that bad, blah 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 blah. Nothing this much. If I get it for like 15 and a half, I'll be happy with it.
Bro,
like,
let me tell you something funny. Yeah, bro. So like, I actually had a side hustle. I've always been a guy like, you've got to have your side hustle. To do something, you've got to have your side hustle. And my side hustle for a long time, for about 2 years, was buying and selling cars. No one knows this. It's an exclusive. I used to buy and sell cars, right? And bro, you didn't want to buy a car from me. That's what I'm saying, yeah? I would never buy like a category car because I just never wanted to put that much energy and work into it. I didn't mind buying a turd and trying to polish that turd.
Yeah.
But it had to be decent. And I totally forgot where I was going with this. What? It started good. What were you saying? About knocking it down, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, cool. So when I used to go and buy the cars, right? I was just like the craziest haggler. Yeah?
I'm terrible.
Bro, no. You got to be so raw with it, yeah? Really? Bro, like, so what I used to do is I used to go there, and a lot of the time it was a private sale, and I knew they wanted the money. They needed the money.
Yeah.
And if you rock up there and you've got the money and it's in your pocket, or you're going to do the deal when they know they could have the money today. So I kind of always played on that. And a lot of the time it worked, other times it didn't, right? But I would go in there, say the car was $5,000.
Yeah.
I'd look around the car, I'd come back and say, look, I'll give you $2,000, yeah? I'd hit him so low, yeah? I never expect to get it for that. I'd hit him so low that instantly they think, shit, yeah? And then they're like, no. And then when I hit an offer of, say, 3.8, yeah? It don't sound so bad. Do you know what I mean? They kind of haggle me up to it. Like, you know, maybe not that exaggerated, but I'd hit him with a horrible offer.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, oh, fuck. And they might have thought, they might have been trying to sell the car for 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
But if you're there, they're getting excited.
Exactly.
They think,
they're like, you know what I mean? They're probably thinking, all right, this guy sounds good on the phone. He sounds like he's going to take it. And I come and I just fucking, bro, their heart kind of drops. They probably, bro, after they sell the car to me, they probably think, what the fuck? What's
this is why I hate selling cars privately.
Bro, but bro, half of the time I was the dickhead because I was driving the car home and it was a dog. Bro, I remember, oh my God, I've got a story, bro. So it got to the point, where I was making decent money. I was doing flips, I would buy a car. I remember one time, it was so sick. I bought a car, put it on Auto Trader when I got home. Yeah. The next day, someone come and bought it off me and made like £1.5 grand. I didn't even wash it. I made £1.5 grand. I thought, shit. So I told my brother about it. Yeah. And my brother was like, all right, cool. I'm going to start investing a little bit. So anyway, my brother started coming with me to buy and sell cars. We put a little bit of money in. We started buying more cars, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We split profits or whatever. And we went to buy a car and it was a Ford B-Max.
Okay.
I bought it from somewhere in Kent. And it was
So random cars then?
Random cars.
Not
anything
even like
for the
ones
right
that
price. No, anything for the right price, yeah? And I thought, because it was quite new. It was like a 2016, 17 or whatever. And I was used to buying like cars that were like 10 years old maybe.
Yeah,
It was quite new. It wasn't categoried or anything like that. So I went up and had a look at it. And I was like, oh my God, it's fucking fresh. And I can't remember why it was going cheap. No, I won it on eBay. So that's how I would win my cars. I would win them on eBay. So I'd be like, I'm your worst nightmare. If you've been watching a car for a week, yeah, and you're putting in bids, bro, I'll come in at the last 10 seconds and you know what I mean? I was that kind of guy. And like, I would only look daily on eBay. I wouldn't watch any cars for time because it can change too much. I'd only look maybe the last 5 hours or whatever. You know what I mean? See it moving, whatever. Come in the last 10 minutes, whack it. And sometimes I won. And I won that like this. Me and my brother went and had a look at it. Looked around it, thought, yeah, it looks fucking good, man. Couldn't believe we got it for that money, yeah? It was a little bit dirty, though, yeah? And I always like to see him nice and washed so you can see the little, what's wrong with it. And then it looked clean. I think maybe a couple scuffs on the alloys, a little, you know what I mean? It wasn't perfect, but it was nice. I thought, I'll get it home, I'll polish it. Fuck, that's money right there, yeah? I got home, and it was always when you clean them and you kind of get to know the car.
Yeah, that's when you find
shit
things.
starts happening.
Yeah.
As I'm cleaning it, right? I'm seeing it looks like the whole car's been sprayed. Yeah? Like not even like one panel.
It was me with a rattle can.
Bro, well, yeah, probably you. I'm probably buying them off you. It's probably you like wearing glasses and a moustache and a fake nose each time. Like, I swear I know this guy. But yeah, no, fucking. So anyway, I got home and I'm cleaning. I'm like, oh my God. I went to clean the roof. The roof was all dipped in and weird. I'm like, what have I bought, yeah? Anyway, so I put it up on Auto Trader. Anyway, I'm not trying to take the L. I'm glad someone else can have this L.
Yeah.
So anyway, I put on Auto Trader, had a dealership call me, yeah? And I was at work at the time, and he was like, look, love the look of the car, da-da-da. And I was like, look, I'm a decent guy, da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, all right, cool, I'm going to put a deposit on it now, yeah? And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I don't really take deposit. I'm thinking, I'd rather you see it. But I thought, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to play cool. Yeah, I'll take a deposit. Give me £250 deposit. All right, cool. Anyway, mate, he rocks up, yeah? And you know, like, so you're waiting for him to come. He gives me a call, he says he's outside. I look out my window and he's looking around the car.
That's
No, in fact, he was looking around the car before he gave me a call. He was one of those guys, and he had come from a dealership, yeah? So I remember thinking, oh shit, he's looking at the roof, yeah? So I've come out there, and the first thing he said to me, he goes, mate, this car looks like it's been rolled, yeah? He was an older fella, yeah? He must have been about 55, 60. And he goes, this car looks like it's been rolled. He goes, no way I'm buying it. This is the conversation straight away, yeah? I've walked out, I thought, what the fuck? He goes, I want my deposit back, yeah? I'm like, what the fuck? And he goes, in fact, let me see the logbook, yeah? I'm thinking, all right, cool. Like, here's the logbook. Bro, he takes it, he goes, you ain't having this fucking logbook back until you give me my money. But I thought, oh my God, he's got me, the bastard, yeah? So I'm outside my house now, yeah? And I'm like, obviously, I ain't declaring any of this. Like, any of the money I'm making, I'm getting declared. So I thought, I kind of need to be cool with this, kind of control the situation. I'm like, look, like, can we not come to a deal? I can knock some money off or whatever. And he's like, man tried to knock me down like £2,000. He tried my tactics. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, no, it can't happen. Anyway, he wouldn't give me the logbook back. He got in his car and he's so weird. He had his mum with him. She was like 80. I don't know what was going on, yeah? It was all weird, yeah? He wouldn't give it to me back. Next thing you know, bro, man's tried to drive off with my logbook. I've jumped in front of the car. Yeah, he's nearly run me over. He stopped. Bro, there was an old brake disc, yeah? Like, just lying up against the fence, like, outside. Picked up the brake disc. I'm like threatening to... I wasn't going to dash it through the window. I'm in front of the car, yeah?
Days.
And I'm like... This has all happened in like 2 minutes. I thought, what's happening here? I'm in front of the car, the guy's gonna run me over, I'm threatening to throw this brake disc through his window. Next thing, I've moved my hand down, he swerved around me and drove off. I'm like, oh my God.
Logbook.
He's got the logbook to my fucking car. The car's fucked, yeah? I thought, what am I doing with my life? And then I'm like, I can't even really call the police. Like, you know, what do I do?
Yeah.
So he called me back and he's like, give me my money back. And I'm like, give me my logbook back. Yeah? How are we gonna do? He goes, I'll post it back to you. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no.
I'm like, no, we're doing it, like, we can do a swap. At these times, I'm like, fuck it, I'm giving your money back. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, no, because when you see me, you're going to try and beat me up. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, you know what I mean? But, oh, well, fuck, I'll give you one of them, you cunt. But anyway, yeah, fucking, in the end, we had the team, like, meet up outside a police station and swap the money.
No way.
He was so annoying.
Did you get rid of the car, though? Like, did you sell it or what?
I did. Bro, I sold it. I don't even want to talk about who I sold it to. Someone's driving that.
I'm looking for B-Maxes with a wavy roof.
Yeah, literally. Someone is driving that car around. I sold it in the end. But, bro, I remember when I gave him the money back and he gave me the logbook back, he said something slime, like a cunt comment.
Yeah,
he didn't have to say.
No, that's it.
He said,
I remember selling, like, I started to try and go down that route, but I just couldn't face the selling it. The complication of
time wasters.
I bought I remember I used to have a Ford Focus, a 1.6 TDI thing, and the turbo blew in it, and then I learned that I could change the turbo, just the cartridge on the inside of the turbo, and it would run again. It was a common problem when the turbos would go. But it turns out with those cars, once the turbo's going once, you've had it, because there's just stuff that goes through the engine. Okay. You have to drain the whole engine out, like get it all cleaned out, and then even still then you got a chance of it going. But you used to see loads on eBay, dead cheap, turbo gone. So I started like buy one of them, like change the cartridge in the turbo, £100, sell it for a lot more. And I remember I think it was actually the first one I did. I bought it for like £4,000 or something. Yeah. And changed the cartridge on the turbo, serviced it, cleaned it up like you would. And then some chap came, he came with his mechanic to look at the car, drove it round, and it was sound. The car was like 100%. Anyways, driving it round, like, yeah, so it's all right, this, blah, blah, blah. Must have been the next week or something, the turbo's gone again. And then he's texting me, he's messaging me and saying, look, you brought a mechanic to look at the car.
Yeah, of course. That's your mechanic's fault now.
He's like texting me like, this is going to happen to you, that's going to happen to you. And I'm just like, look, you bought the car, it was your own risk, like, that's it. Like, the car's fixed, and what can I do? Like, and then from then on, I was like, oh, I can't do this. Like,
bro. Honestly, do you know that story I just told you? I have so much other ones like that. That's what it was like. And I'm like, what? I mean, it got to the point where like the money's okay, but sometimes if you're putting you're stressed, and you might have to sit on the car for a month, and by that month's gone, a fucking new reg might have come out. Your car's, and all it takes is for someone to put their car up cheaper. Yeah, and then what you see is everyone drops the price, and then you're losing. But it was all long.
Such a difficult game. But that's why, like I said, with the houses stuff, like buying the houses, people. I always watch like these guys on like YouTube and stuff about buying houses and like the investments and this, that, and the other, and everyone always says the same thing. Like, your first offer on a house should always be one that you're embarrassed about. Like, you've got to be embarrassed to say that offer on the house. So, like, I always think, right, if I offer something respectable, then it's like they might accept it. You've got to offer something embarrassing. Yeah,
like, but you know what the thing is? Again, that's cool if you're buying and selling, and that is a trade. Yeah, but if your heart is in it, you don't want to. You don't even want to offend them because you might lose it.
That's it. Both the houses that we bought to live in, we paid asking price for them because we wanted it.
I think I paid over for one of mine. I've only got one, but I've had a couple of.
That's it. Yeah. The first one me and Hannah bought, it was like, we just went in, we offered low to start with, and then it was like one of them where the estate agents play you, and they're like, oh, we've got another person in with you, like, we're doing last and final offers today at 1:00. So you'd make your decision, and was like, we want it. We already thought about the furniture that's going in there.
Exactly.
So asking price, we went in. Same with this one that we got now, asking price. But all the investment ones has just been one of them. Like, I give you $100,000 if you want it, you get it.
And it's there if you want it.
And then that's it. And then you get it, and that's it. You've made a decent deal. But that's the thing. If your heart's in it, and it's the same with buying the cars. If you know you want that car, you've already done the things to it. You're driving that distance to get there. That's it then, your heart's set on it.
Half of the time, like, people coming to me to buy the cars, even though they're like, some of them were shit, they had already bought the car.
They've already bought it in their mind.
Mentally,
I knew that with like my old cars. So he's like, I'm coming up. Where are you coming from? Bournemouth.
You bought a car. You bought a car.
This guy bought it.
I knew. I had people coming from like 4-hour drives. It was like, cool, the money's on the table because they ain't going home without it.
Yeah, that's
Even if I knock off a little bit of money, they bought the car.
That's it. You know they're like, it's when they're like, oh, I'm 5 minutes around the corner, come and have a look. Oh, they're not buying it. They're just
exactly.
That's the thing. It's But like I said, with the categorised cars, I feel that it's never really affected me selling them. Like, before I did the raffles and everything, it's never really affected me selling them because it was always like flagship cars that I bought. So like M4s, like not M4, but like, like your Audi RSs or like your GCRs, your Golf Rs and stuff like that. And I feel like people not so bothered about them being categorised because some people look at them, they want a Golf R or they want an S5 or like an RS5 or this, that, and the other, but they see that one and it stands out to them more because it's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper. So I could still go around in that car, but it's a lot cheaper.
Bro, there's so many people out there driving Cat D, Cat C, Cat S, Cat N cars, right?
Yeah.
And they don't care because they can. It makes the RS or it makes it AMG or it makes the S. It makes it affordable.
That's it.
And they know unless they're people in their circle know, no one else is going to know.
Yeah,
Who knows?
if I was advising anyone, I would say to them, like, if you're going to buy one for yourself, if you're not mechanically minded or anything, don't buy one, because there's going to be little things that go wrong here and there. But if you're like mechanically minded and you're all right changing this, doing that, go buy a categorized car.
I definitely think when it comes to non-structural damage, that you know, don't be too scared of that.
That's it.
But some people can swing it too. Just like saying some structural damages is really light and then it goes to really mad. Some non-structural goes from really light to really bad.
Like category N. There's like new category. It used to be like Cat C, Cat D, but now it's like category N. Category N cars, they're normally like stolen or non-structural, and they're good ones to buy. They're normally cheaper than the others, but they're just a category N, and they've obviously been stolen before, or it's not a non-structural damage like repair. Like you see a lot of like the older cars, like the Bentleys and stuff. Like if it's got a scuff on a bumper and they claim for insurance, they'll just write it off because the Bentley bumpers, like the car's worth 15 grand, the bumper's worth like 10 grand or something, and they'll categorise it. You can pick the car up, mint car, nothing wrong with it. So it swings and roundabouts with it. It's definitely. It's one of them, but I wouldn't be scared. Well, I'm not scared about it.
You're not scared of anything, right?
Yeah, YouTube's made it accessible to buy stupid cars now because I can just buy it.
But that's it, because you'll take the risks, innit? Like people can watch that through you, I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a lot of people think I'm mad like buying one without seeing it, but I thought, well, if it's knackered, then people can watch.
Makes for a better story.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's it. It's mental. But the one thing that always scares me now, and I don't know if you've thought of it as well, is like what, you know, like doing this YouTube stuff and everything, like what do you feel like you'll be doing like 10 years from now? Do you have like a...
See, that's a good one. So I'm the kind of person who I'm going to keep pushing, doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I have no doubt that I'm going to be in a better place than I am now.
Yeah.
Whatever that might be, I'm not 100% sure. I've definitely got some big things in the pipeline. I can't really talk about it too much on camera. It might not happen. And plus, I don't like to jinx stuff. But we've got some big things in the pipeline. And, you know, I want to be doing what I'm doing. Definitely automotive.
Yeah.
And, I just want to see how things grow. But one thing I will tell people is that, like, I'm going to be putting my all into everything I do. And keep that graft and grind level exactly the same or even more.
You don't necessarily have like a set plan, like this is what I want to do, this point. You sort of like...
Do you know what would be something I want to do? And again, it's not a goal. Like, if you're talking like, I want a 5-bedroom detached house. It's obviously there is that. Not saying that is my goal, but there is that in the back of my head. There's certain goals I want to tick off. But life goals, as opposed to things that I just want to achieve through YouTube. I mean, one thing that I want to achieve, and whether it be YouTube, whether it be mainstream TV, maybe, or whatever it is, I want to be able to enjoy what I'm doing more, in a sense that I'm not the person holding the camera all the time, not having to worry about doing all the editing all the time, and I can just perhaps hop in the car, have fun, enjoy the excitement of the car, show how it makes me feel, which I do, but at the same time, I don't have to worry about, fuck, now I've got to go home and do a 7-hour edit.
That's it. I heard what you're saying on that Evil GT podcast, where you're like saying it's freed up so much time being able to film, like you're getting some other guys into film, getting some other guys to edit. It's like I know you want to enjoy that sort of side of it more, of thing. It's weird for me, like I hate editing and filming and stuff, but at the same time, I like doing it.
I like doing it. Oh, it's the sense of once it's finished, you created this.
I'm there.
You've created that. Like, I love that.
It's but so do you feel like you would swerve away from YouTube, like as time goes on?
No, look, if not, fucking Top Gear come knocking at my door, and they say, Jamie, you're up next, give up the YouTube. All right, I would, like, obviously I'll go, but I don't think I would give up the YouTube, because YouTube is the new TV, or digital media is the new TV.
I think exactly the same.
TV is dying.
Yeah,
it's still a landmark thing to do, or it's a benchmark thing to do.
Yeah.
But let's be real, 10 years from now, your Netflix, your Amazon Prime, your YouTube is going to make TV look dumb. Like,
I think even now, it's probably more to advertise on YouTube than it is on TV. But you're getting that target audience on YouTube. You know that if you're advertising on YouTube, you are then going to be reaching that target audience. Even if like you've got sponsored ads in your videos, like companies will come to you. They know like people aged 25 to 35 will watch you, mainly male, blah 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 blah, and they're actually watching the video.
The sales will,
and you can do a direct link. They can scroll down, click the link in the description, then they're up to whatever they're buying. You watch on TV, there's an advert, they've got to go out and do a DFS sale, whatever. You've got to then drive to the shop, like do this. It's different.
And they've got to hope they're putting it in front of someone who is into chairs.
Yeah, and even then,
whatever, do you know what I mean?
The TV could be running and you're in the kitchen doing something else.
Exactly.
They're spending money to have that, whereas on YouTube, you know people are directly watching. I think it's 100% better for advertisers, and that's the way it goes. I mean, some people moan saying like, oh, there's too much advertising in your videos and stuff. Last night, I watched Channel 4. There was about like 10 minutes of the program, and then there was 15 minutes of adverts, one after the other after the other. I can't skip them.
Exactly.
I can't skip
that's
them.
true. You make a good point.
Like, I can skip them on YouTube.
Bro, you make a good point.
I can't skip them on flipping like TV.
Bro, you make a really good point with that. And I guess we are getting on with time now. We've been rattling away for over an hour and a half, bro. It goes quick, innit? It goes quick. But so I think it's a good place to end it on, actually. Where do you see yourself 5 years? What's next for the channel? What can we expect?
Do you know, like I was just saying, I've always had like a specific goal and plan to get to, and I've always had it. I've just had that. This is what I want to do. By this time, I'm doing it. And do you know what? It's happened so quick for me.
Man's already done it.
Yeah, you know, like I was thinking, like, I really want to buy a Lamborghini. Like it was like a life dream. I bought one, and I'm like, what
shout
now?
out, bro. Congrats on that
like,
too. It's nice, man. It's a goal, man.
It happened so quick for me, and now that's why it feels a bit scary for me. That's why I was asking you, like, do you have like? It's nice to know that someone's not more like go with the flow sort of thing, because like it scares me when some people are like, yeah, I'm going to do this by this time, that by. That's how I used to be, but now do
you know what the
I
thing
don't
is?
know.
Yeah, you make too much goals like that. You put a lot of pressure on yourself.
Yeah,
it's a bit like turning 30 and you haven't got a mortgage yet.
Oh
do you know what I mean?
I hate
or you
that
haven't
thing.
got kids. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Everyone does things
that.
at their own pace. But look, healthy growth is all I'm looking for.
Yeah,
do you see what I'm saying? Whatever that might be, just up the levels, the content levels, everything. Do you see what I'm saying? Like
at the minute, like a lot of people YouTube's their side thing, you know, like it's like they've got businesses on the side, YouTube's a bit on the side, and like if they get views, they get views. For me, it's like everything. I feel like it's like what I was meant to do. You know, I could be creative on there, I can fix the cars on there, which I like fixing. It feels like this is my job. That's what I was meant to do. So like a lot of people say, oh, don't rely on it. But I love doing it. I'm just going to do it.
Bro, when you're as good as you are at doing what you do as you are, no, you can rely on it. You got to believe in yourself, innit? The people who say don't rely on it don't believe in themselves.
That's it.
Right?
It's like, how can you can't rely on social media people? Like I've watched like investors and stuff speak to other YouTubers, and they're saying like, how have you not got anything here? Like I've got the houses and stuff as well, which is a bit on the side, but I feel like YouTube is like that's where I feel like I'm in that place now, and I'm the most happiest I've ever been, because I'm making footage on YouTube for hundreds of thousands of people to watch. And like, you have your ups and downs, but you have that with any business. But if that's it, and until the games change and it's like, oh, you can't make money for YouTube or do this, I'm sure there'll be something else. But I feel like that creative side of it is where I'll always stay. Like, whether it's making stuff on YouTube or Instagram, there's got to be I don't think I'd ever go back to a 9-to-5 job.
No, I don't think I could now.
I could never do that.
Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I feel like it would just be a backward step.
Yeah,
where I'm trying
this
to go.
is where this is what I'm supposed to do. Like, I feel like I've found it now. I'm so glad I found it so early, because now I can just continue doing what I want to do. And I mean, goalposts might change a couple of years time, but right now this is what I want to do, and that's like, well, that's how I'd leave it. Like, but I don't know. It's scary to think what happened in next year. 2 years ago, I had an Audi TT and I was driving and doing that. Next thing, I've got a unit and there's a Lambo, a Maserati, and a flipping Golf in there. So what? Like what?
Moral of the story, guys, is life can take crazy turns. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And always be prepared for them. All right, cool, bro. Well, listen, it's been nice catching up. In fact, nice getting to know you, because we never spoke prior to this. Like, you know what I mean? And you're a real cool guy. You know? So hopefully this can be like the start of a relationship. As I say, like I'm so free with it now, just wanting to connect with people and trying to get to know people.
Yeah.
I hope that in some shape or form we can collab in the future too. And
definitely.
maybe if it's on your platform or even if it's you coming onto my automotive platform, or get you involved in the battles when your Lambo's done. Or do you know what I mean?
Oh, that would be good.
Do you know what I mean? We could do some sick shit together. So, thank you so much for coming down, bro. Where can people find you? Do you want to shout out your socials?
I'm assuming everything links in the description. Right. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, the whole thing. Mainly YouTube. But yeah, that's it. If you enjoy watching what Jamie does, obviously you would probably enjoy doing what I do. Yeah. It's hands-on, rebuilding stuff, having a laugh. And yeah, it's links in the description.
Yeah. Well, bro, listen, it's been wicked. And hope you all enjoyed it. Peace out.